We got an edge rumored filled show today. Bleacher Report, they came out with 2 rumors involving an edge rusher possibly going to the Patriots. A trade for this guy, Kayvon Thibodeaux, and a little reunion for the Patriots. We'll get into that on the back end of the show. But first, I want to ask you guys. I don't think I've asked you guys this yet. What year did you become a Patriots fan? I want to see all of the ages down in the comments of how old just people are that are watching this. Did you become a fan back in the 70s with Steve Grogan? Did you become a fan in the 2000s with Tom Brady? Let me know down in the comments section below. I became a fan back in 2005 when I was about 8 years old, and the Patriots defeated the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. And Bleacher Report, they're all over the rumors here in June as we're in the depths of the NFL offseason. And they suggested that the Patriots try and trade for Giants edge rusher Kayvon Thibodeaux. Now, Kayvon, I mean, he's a good player. He was the 5th overall pick a couple years ago. But I've always thought that the Patriots should get an edge rusher, and Kayvon would possibly be a good guy for this team. Here's what Christopher Knox, the Bleacher Report writer, had to say. He said, Patriots, who recorded just 28 sacks in last season, should have interest in having Thibodeaux if he's available. New England did add Harold Landry and Milton Williams in free agency, but could use another sack artist on the defensive front. And when you look at Kayvon Thibodeaux, it seems like every single year he looks like he's going to become one of the best pass rushers in football. I mean, when you're the 5th overall pick coming out of Oregon playing for the Ducks, he was an absolute dog. And everybody thought this is going to be the next best pass rusher. But honestly, he's kind of been underachieving a little bit. Like, everybody says that he's kind of lazy. He doesn't get to the quarterback fast enough. And it feels like that he's just not performed up to what his 5th overall pick and what the Giants have been expecting. Now, last season was a bit of a down year for him. He did have an injury, but in 2023, 11.5 sacks playing all games, 12 tackles for loss, like solid numbers. And in his rookie year, 4 sacks. But being an edge rusher and being a top 5 pick, you're expecting that guy to take the next step, to get at least 10 sacks every single year. You look at Trey Hendrickson, which we've talked about, a possible trade candidate as he's looking for a new contract with the Cincinnati Bengals. He has 17 sacks in a season, back-to-back years. Kayvon Thibodeaux has not sniffed to that. Now, he would help this team because, let's be honest, this edge room is not the best. He would help it. He would give it a little boost as you get Clavon Chason, you get Harold Landry, and Harold Landry, 9 sacks. Yeah, and if we look at last year, I've talked about it all a bunch. You could not get to the quarterback whatsoever. You lost your top pass rusher and a guy we're going to talk about later in the show with Judon, but 28 sacks is the worst in the NFL, so the Patriots, they need to add a bunch of edge pass rushing guys, and that's why you drafted Braden Swinson. That's why you brought in these guys, but I still think you need to add someone to elevate this defense, and that's why when you look at all the rumors that you see throughout the offseason, it's always talking about the edge rushers. It's always talking about the wide receivers because those are still the 2 biggest needs for the Patriots. Anthony Jennings cannot get to the quarterback. He's a great run defender, but he just can't. And I'll be honest, I've watched a little bit of Keion White's highlights from last year. He is great on the inside, but watching him a little on the outside after watching a little bit of tape past couple of days, it's like, okay, he still needs a little bit of work. I think being coached up by Mike Vrabel is going to help him, but I still would rather get somebody with a veteran signee or trade for someone. Now, with Kayvon Thibodeaux, I think it's very, very, very unlikely to happen. I don't see the Giants trading him. I see them keeping him for another season. And there's a bunch of reasons why. The trade makes sense because they drafted Abdul Carter and they have Brian Burns. But I think that they're going to keep him because every single team wants as many edge rushers as possible. Now, we would be going live today because it's Wednesday, but because of the NFL draft, we are moving it. We are moving the live show, Patriots Today Live, to Friday at 4 p.m. So don't miss it. We're not going to be live today at 4 o'clock like we usually are, or 5 o'clock like we usually are. We're moving that to Friday. So make sure you subscribe to Patriots Today. We just hit 26,500 subs, so give a round of applause for all you guys for being real ones and subscribing to the channel. But turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on the live show. Now, another reason why I don't think this trade is going to happen, because the Giants picked up Tibbs' fifth option. So he's going to be a part of New York for another year. Now, the Patriots, they still have an opportunity to trade for him. But I really don't know. Like, now that you've picked up his option and you expect him to be on this team for another year because you're giving him another chance, what is it going to take to draft for Kayvon Thibodeaux? Is it going to take, like, do they want a second-round pick? He's a fifth overall guy. Like, do they want a second-round pick? Are they going to even want a first-round pick? I don't think he's worth that whatsoever. I would give around a late third or a fourth-round pick and maybe give them something, a player if they need to. But I don't see the Patriots being able to trade for Kayvon Thibodeaux. What would you guys do? Would you trade for Thibs? Type T for trade or type P for pass. Go in the comments right now. Let me know what your answer is. Now, coming up, it's talking about another edge rusher. But we know this guy really, really well, and I wish I was wearing red for the sleeves, but I don't. But that's who we're going to be talking about coming up on the back end half of the show. But first, I got to tell you guys, it's 4th of July coming up, and we got T-shirts for it. I always pick a good deal for you guys. But this week, I said it's 4th of July. You're going to be cooking out. You're going to be grilling. You're going to be by the pool. And you want a nice T-shirt to rep the holiday, rep your favorite team. So go to chatsports.com/PatsUSA right now and get this cool Patriot shirt. Red, white, and blue with the American flag over it. You get to rep the team. You get to talk about the Patriots, because what else are you doing at a cookout? You're talking sports. That's what I do. While I'm having a drink in my hand, I'm talking sports. So go right now, chatsports.com/PatsUSA. We'll have that in the comments and description of today's video. All right, so Benkurt, and I've seen a lot of his takes before. A lot of them are just reunion-based. And he suggests that the Patriots should go out and bring back Matthew Judon. I think it would be an awkward reunion. Like, this would just, I saw this and I kind of laughed. He said, I think they could use a little more edge help. Matt Judon got paid a little bit. Yeah, that's why we got rid of him in the first place, because he wanted a contract extension. Well, we traded him to the Falcons, and look where he's at now. He can go back on a team-friendly deal. Vrabel's got the culture back. Matt Judon liked the culture before with Bill Belichick, and then got a little pissed off at Jerod Mayo, and he says bring Matt Judon back to the Pats. Yeah, I just don't know about that one. I think you kind of just burned your bridge a little bit. Yeah, I know, like, okay, Jerod Mayo's out of there, but let's be honest here. It was not a pretty sight during those couple weeks during training camp. And he had a solid year in 24, 41 tackles, 5.5 sacks, but it was not good. Like, do we not forget what happened? He sat out of training camp. He showed up to training camp without his pads on, then got in a screaming match with Jerod Mayo, got in a screaming match with Elliott Wolf. It was just not good. And I went back and I looked at the articles, and I found this one from USA Today, and they said that this is what happened. Like, if you guys don't remember, back in August of last year, or late July, it was in training camp. He said he arrived to practice without pads on and just sat down on a trash can to watch his teammates. Because if you don't show up to training camp, you get fined. The 4-time Pro Bowler, currently looking for a new contract, and it looks like he might be holding in by not participating in practice. Yeah, he was just sitting there watching. Then Mayo eventually made his way over to Judon to talk about it, and the two could be seen having a discussion, and then Judon stood up, walked off the field after, they put it nicely. It was like not an engaging conversation with Jerod Mayo. It was not a happy ending. It was kind of just, yeah, we're going to yell at each other. It was a burned bridge. Like, I know he wasn't happy with Mayo. Mayo wasn't happy with Judon. And they were just like, all right, we got to get rid of him. We have to get rid of him. So that's why they traded him to Atlanta. And now Benkurt said, like, all right, Mike Vrabel has brought in new culture. Gerard Mayo's gone. But the front office is still here. They still remember what happened last year. Elliott Wolf is still here, and he had to deal with Matt Judon too. So, like, do we want to – I think a bridge is already burned to where it's probably not going to be a reunion. You bring him back, and it's kind of awkward. He walks into the building like, oh, yeah, this happened less than a year ago. Now, when he was healthy with the Patriots in 2023, he didn't play because he was hurt. But, I mean, he was the best player on the team. He was the leader of this team. And when they traded him, I was like, come on, man. We just traded our best player, but it had to be done. It was time. And 15.5 sacks in 22, 12.5 in 21. And the last 2 years, last year he was fully healthy. He played all 17 games. So, that was just kind of a fluke opportunity. But let's be honest, like the Patriots missed Matt Judon a ton last season. You saw the stats earlier, 28 sacks in the entire year. And I'll bring back up the Patriots depth chart. Like if you added Matt Judon back to this depth chart, it would be incredible, especially if he's healthy. Yeah, he's 32 years old, but he's still got something left in the tank. We saw it in the Falcons. The Falcons weren't that good. So I would maybe bring him back. I just don't know. I think the bridge is burned. I just don't see it happening, but I'll ask you guys. Would you bring back Matt Judon? Give me a yes or give me a no down in the comments section. I would love to bring Bread Sleeps back. Like, he was one of my favorite players. He was the captain of this team, and I would do it on a 1-year deal. But he would have to probably apologize to Elliott Wolf. And I will say, he did post, like on his exit, when he got traded, he said, "Thank you, New England, for everything." So he obviously loved his time here. He was a fan favorite in New England. You saw fans at Gillette Stadium. They were wearing red sleeves because of Matthew Judon. Like, he was beloved by this team. Now, when he wanted a new contract, that's when things went haywire. But if you brought him back on a 1-year deal and he knows his role, he knows, like, all right, I'm not getting an extension, then why not bring him back? If Mike Vrabel can convince him to just be a team player, which I think he's willing to do, then you could bring him back. But if not, I think the bridge is probably burned. That's going to do it for today's episode of Patriots Today by Chat Sports. If you want to keep talking, you want to keep the conversation going, let me know on Twitter, let me know on Instagram if you want Matthew Judon to re-sign with the Patriots. Twitter, @TheRealAlper. Instagram, same handle. Go and follow me. Make sure you subscribe to Patriots Today. And as always, let's go Pats.